Ocean Pines is a vibrant residential community nestled on Maryland's eastern shore. With over 9 miles of waterfront property, amenities like an 18-hole championship golf course and a public yacht club, and a rich history dating back to 1968. Of course, if you live here, you probably know most of that. And if you don't, it's almost all apparent from your first visit. Each week on the Pines Cast, we work to bring out the ocean pines that might be less apparent. We celebrate the region, the amenities, and, most of all, the people who make and keep Ocean Pines a special place to live. Welcome to the Pines Cast, your source of news and insights about Ocean Pines and the official podcast of the Ocean Pines Association. Hi, I am your host, Tony Russo, and welcome to another episode of the Pines Cast. It is a pleasure, as always, to join you. And this week, we are speaking with Sharon Puser. She is the president of the Ocean Pines Pioneers Craft Club, and she's here to talk about some of the stuff they have coming up. They've got some exciting events in the next few weeks, and they also have a big winter festival that we're going to be talking about. Just in case you don't stay on for the end after the credits, I want to let you know that we're always interested in feedback. If you have any show ideas or critiques or suggestions, you can send them along to me at the email address bytonyrusso@gmail.com. That is bytonyrusso@gmail.com. But that's enough of me. Let's talk to Sharon. So, welcome back.
Well, one of the biggest things I guess we accomplished is we are now a 501c charity. So that gives us a lot of leverage to do some of the things we want to do without having to worry about the government.
So tell me about that decision. How did you guys decide that you wanted to become a 501c3, and what was the process?
Well, I think the biggest reason, we are running the store. The store has been, we have the artisan gift shop, which is part of our club. And we have been actually running it as a business, more so than just a place for members to show their wares, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so that led to us thinking about running it as a business. So we got ourselves a accountant who led us through the process. And we gathered all our information and we applied and we were accepted. So it was a process. It took quite a few months to get there. But I think it'll be well worth it in the long run.
And you're one of the oldest, right? Aren't you one of the oldest?
Yeah, we were started in 1974. This is our 52nd year. And over the years, part of our statement, our mission statement is that we give back to the community and the money that we make. We have fun making the crafts and then we sell them and make money to give back to the community. And since we started, we're up to now, I've been tracking it, we're up to over $206,000 that we've given back over those 52 years. So we're real proud of that.
That's fantastic. Making it, quote, more official, unquote. It's just a function of how much you've been able to grow and make the club efficient, right?
Right. We have some really great crafters in the shop now, too. We have really top-notch items in the shop and a variety of items in the shop now. And we've been, since we moved to our new location near the farmer's market, we're having real success.
And Joe, can you tell me about some of the crafters? You said you had some new crafters and some new crafts that are kind of standouts.
We have a couple of crafters that work with resin, making plaques and pictures. That's kind of new to us. We have a person who does woodworking and does beautiful plaques, scroll work and that type plaques. And right now, actually, he has made a train all out of wood, including the tracks.
Wow.
Fairly big piece. And he has donated it to the club, and we are raffling that off to the public. We're selling chances out of the craft shop. It's a beautiful piece. People should just stop by to see it. I mean, it's so well done, you wouldn't believe.
If you'd like to send me a picture, I can put a picture in the show notes too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do have a picture of it at home. I could do that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that would be great, I think, because people love to see stuff like that. And now to have items in the shop, you do have to be a member, right?
yes, you do.
What are kind of the rules of membership? How does membership work?
Well, we actually have two kinds of membership. If you are in the shop, you need to be able to work the shop because we have no paid employees. It's all volunteer. So to keep the shop open, we have to have people to work the shop on the weekends when we're open. So that's part of being in the shop is that you are required to work. Depending on how many members we have, it breaks down to be somewhere between 30 to 40 hours per year that you have to work to cover your membership and to cover the fact that you're in the shop. The other membership is we have a number of, I shouldn't say a number, a few members that are not in the area. So it's difficult for them to work in the shop because they're not local. They're not that.
Right.
But their items are beautiful, and we didn't want to turn them away because they had such beautiful items. One in particular, she does little plaques all in seashells of fish and crabs and beautiful plaques to hang on the wall, all made out of beautiful shells that she gets not only from here, but she purchases them from the islands and that. So there's some unusual shells on those pieces. But she can't work. Also, there are far away or they have full-time jobs and they can't get away. So we have another membership where we take where they pay to be in the shop. They pay to be a vendor in the shop.
Can you tell me how much that is, or does that change, or is it space based?
No, it's not space-based. It does change. I can tell you it's around $60.
So it's not $10,000.
No, it's not $10,000.
And do you have? How does the scheduling work? Who is that's never a problem, or?
Not usually. We have a book of all the dates that are open, and people just sign up. You know, when they know they're free, that they can work in the shop. We do have a training program. When we get a new member, they have to go through a training program. They have to work with another rep for a couple of weeks, couple of times to learn how to run the store, how to cash out, and that type of thing. So they just fill in their time. You know, they pick which week they want to work. And we haven't had a problem. If something comes up, we just ask the other crafters, you know, can you switch with me? I got family coming or something like that. And most people are, you know, they're fine with that. So it hasn't really been a problem.
And now you guys are open all year. Do you stay busy all year, or are you just open in the spring?
No, we're open all year. We made that change a number of years ago. It used to be that we were only open like spring and summer and fall and closed in the winter. But you know, when you're running a business, that's when we kind of started running it as a business. You really can't be closed for a long time. You know, you lose a lot of customers that forget about you over the winter, you know, so, and we had enough members to do it. I mean, it was a lot more hours we had to cover, but we had the manpower to do it. So we tried it and we've been staying year round, ever since. So it worked out. You know, in the January, February, it's a little light, but not that light. You know, there are some people that do stay here, don't head to Florida, and do come and shop.
And I would expect that that's one of the other reasons that you decided to become a 501c3, because you're really starting to generate real income at the store, or,
Right.
you know, do you have it handy? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot. What you were able to donate last year?
Yeah, we donated, I believe it was 10,600 last year.
That's absolutely amazing. And that is from not just the sale of the shops, but you guys have events throughout the year, right?
Right. We have we have different fundraisers. It's not just the shop. It's the fundraisers also add to that.
Well, I know you have one coming up in August, so let's talk about that, but then we'll talk about some of the other ones. Tell me about the August fundraiser.
Yeah, we're doing our yearly August craft fair. It's going to be August 1st, 9 to 3, and it's in the park, in the Whitehorse Park here, and in the community center. We get outside vendors as well as some of our club members have booths, and we do our bake sale. Members bake, get their friends to bake, and we have a bake sale, which is usually very popular and usually sell out by 12 o'clock. So that's an additional fundraiser because we make quite a bit of money off the bake sale as well that day.
What are the rules for signing up? Who can sign up? When do they sign up? How do they sign up? That kind of stuff.
Well, we have an application. People question us about it, or we actually go through. This year we hit a lot of different craft clubs in the area, and that if people wanted booths, and that we've had success with that. Or people contact us. What they have to do is they have to send pictures of their items because it's kind of a vetted process. We want to make sure that we have quality stuff that we're putting out,
Oh,
and so once we get the pictures, then we decide if they're approved or not, and then they're in.
that's fascinating. I didn't know that part of it. Can we talk about that a little bit? So, if I
Sure,
wanted to go and I made, I don't know, mugs, I would send you pictures of the mugs that I made.
sure, yeah. And we'd have to see if the quality's there. The other thing we look at, not so much in August because it's such a big fair, but definitely we have another fair in December. The one in December, which is only inside because of the weather, we have less booths that we can sell. So one of the things we look at is the quality, but also what it is. Like we don't want to have 10 people selling jewelry. We want
Right.
to have a mix. So with the August one and the November one, we look at not only the quality, but do we have somebody that's already selling that? That we don't want to have too much of one thing and not the true variety that you need that, people like to see a lot of different things, not more of the same.
That's an important part because you're right. If you go to some place and it's like, oh, look, the same, if they're the same 12 things and you're like, do I want to go next year or do I want to do something else? But keeping it interesting, that's important. And how big is this? Because this is inside and outside. So it's inside the community center.
Right.
And then how much of it is outside?
As much as we can sell, as much of the area that we can get. The farmers market will be open that day. They have their section. Actually, when they built the outdoor bathrooms, we lost some ground there. We will have food in August, and they're going to be in the gazebo. So it's whatever's left, and then the playground is big too. So pretty much any space that isn't already taken, we take. And we're very close to being sold out. So this has been a very good year for us, and we're very close to being sold out.
And I'm sorry to repeat, just to make sure, I don't know if we said it out loud, the date. What's the date again?
It's August 1st, Saturday, August 1st, 9 to 3.
And registrations close when you run out of table spaces?
Yep. Well, usually what happens is we do a waiting list because sometimes people call and say, "Oh, I'm sick," or I can't do it, or that. So we rely on, we usually have about 5 to 10 people on a waiting list, so we can plug somebody in to take their spot. But yeah, it's open probably until about 2 weeks before the fair because there's a lot of prep in printing and stuff that we need to do for the fair. So about 2 weeks before we close it down, if we're not sold out before that.
And what does it cost to get a table?
It's varying prices because inside is a little more money than to be outside. So I'd give you a range. It's about somewhere around $60, give or take.
And I guess you're probably already sold. Like if I wanted to come, I don't really make mugs, but let's just pretend I'm a mug guy. So
Okay.
if I wanted to come sell my mugs, I'm probably going to end up outside at this point, or can I?
You can pick what you want.
Oh,
You can pick, though I think inside is almost, if not already, sold out.
that's what I was wondering because it is just as it's less than a month away as we record this. And I'm sorry, you said you have to get printing and things done. Do you make flyers? Is that the?
Yeah, we make flyers. We actually have a program that's worked pretty well for us. If the vendors that day sign up for the following year, the day of the fair, we give them a $10 discount. And in the past, we've normally gotten about 20, 22 people that would normally do that. So that gives us a boost for the following year. Last year, it was so successful. We had 36, I think, that came back that day. So it gave us a good base to start selling for this coming fair. That kind of shows you that they must have had a good day.
Well, and it's also a good way to get out and and show your things because like I said, these are just this is just one of the fundraisers. What are some of the other fundraisers you do?
Okay, well, like I said, we do have another craft fair in November. That's in November 7th, and also 9 to 3 inside only. And that's almost sold out, believe it or not, even though we're so far from November.
Wow.
And we do, again, we do bake sales at both. So those are our fundraisers. The other thing we do, we started this a couple of years ago and it's just been growing and growing, is desserts in the park. And what that is we bake, the members bake, and we sell desserts at the free concerts in Ocean Pines. We have a table there, and people will buy some of our snacks and desserts and that while they're listening to the music.
Oh, that is super cool. And have you done how many of those have you done so far this year?
Uh, I think one or two. I think one or two so far. It starts the end of June, and it goes through the summer. Talk about our donations. One of our donations to the Parks and Rec, we're a gold member of the. We give them money for the free concerts, and we're a gold sponsor for that. And now we've started, like I said, with this thing we call Desserts in the Park, and it's really taken off.
How do you guys decide what to sponsor each year and how much you can afford? Because you do it ahead of time, right? Do you do a budget or do you do it at the end of the year, make a
We do it
distribution?
toward the end of the year because we give the money out at our installation in December, our installation meeting. We meet, the board meets, and we talk about who we want to give money to and where we're going to send the money. And then we bring it to the membership and they vote on, they agree or they have other suggestions or what. And that's how we decide to make a list of the donations for the year.
And what are some of the popular things that you guys help to sponsor? Obviously, the music in the park is a huge one.
Yeah, and we give other money to Parks and Rec for crafts, for them to have craft supplies for some of their projects and for summer camps. So a lot of the money is geared toward the summer camps and craft supplies. We give to the Ocean Pines Library, and a lot of that money goes for crafts. They have a lot of children sponsored events, craft parties. They recently had a party, a princess party. So we give them money and tell them that we want it spent on like craft supplies and things for the kids that come into the library.
And now again, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but it occurs to me you guys you also volunteer at some of those things, right? You have kid craft days that
Yeah,
you
we do
run?
have kid craft days where we'll put a table out and we'll have a craft and kids can come do the craft. And that's free usually. And though we do have a tip jar, but that's free for the kids. We've done a few of those. We are going to have a face painting at the craft fair. One of our members is a face painter, so she volunteered to do a painting table. So we will have that at our August craft fair.
And do you have any of the free things for the kids? Is that a regular date that you do those, or just
Now, we need to get volunteers for that. So it depends on when we could get volunteers and when we get a really good idea that the kids could do, quickly without a lot of fuss. It can't be something that needs to dry or that type.
right?
We've done like visors where they can glue on stuff and stickers and stuff like that. We've done little bracelets with them and little cork keychains we did another time. So it's something that needs to be quick. So that happens when we have volunteers and we have a project and it all comes together.
And so, when was the last one you did? Do you remember? Do you have one coming up soon, or?
No, we don't have one coming up soon. We did one, the last one we did was last year. We're always looking for something to do. We're always asking for suggestions. We do have right now, we have a lot of seashells that somebody donated to the club. So possibly something to be made with seashells.
How does one donate materials? Because you don't want just people just dropping off balls of yarn outside the door, right?
Right, right. Normally, a lot of people call us and ask if we'll take donations. And depending what it is, we usually, we'll take the donations. And we tell them to bring it to either come to our meeting or bring them to the shop on the weekends when we're open. If they drop it off at the shop, then now our next meeting, we bring that stuff to the meeting so that our members can take whatever they need from it that they use in their craft, that they can use to help make their craft. And then a lot of times, if there's stuff left over, we'll give it to Parks and Rec, that maybe they could use it for camp, some of the supplies.
For the kid projects.
Yeah.
We went over Christmas quickly, but let's go over it a little bit more slowly again, because you said you gave me the impression that it's already filling up. Are there any holes that you know of? Like for instance, you probably have
a couple of spots left. And the one thing about November that I didn't mention, since you're the mug maker, you probably wouldn't be accepted because we have a mug maker. That she's a member of our club. And so we wouldn't take 2 mug makers because the fair is not big enough to have such variety as that. August is a little different because you have more space, you have more people. But in August, the decision would probably be made. We don't need 2 people making mugs.
I don't think anyone ever needs 2 people making mugs. I bought something this week and they're like, we'll send you a free mug. I'm like, please don't. I can't. I wish there was a way to check. Don't send me this mug, please, because I don't want it and I don't have any more room for it.
Yeah. Well, these mugs are these are pottery type mugs.
Yeah. No, I'm being special. Silly.
Right.
I'm thinking of the mugs that I would make, which would either look primitive or they would just be maybe I picked up a bunch of mugs at Goodwill and wrote "By Tony" on the bottom or something.
You wouldn't be accepted with those.
I expect not. And so what are some of the things that you have going on for next year? Because I know you guys are already starting to plan. And do you just take regular because now that you're 501c3, you can just take regular donations. Have you gotten many of those? Is there a mechanism for people to send you just here's $50 or something? We
haven't gotten into that yet. We do have people that come in the shop, and when they shop, they'll say, "Oh, keep the change." So we get a few donations that way. Some are small. It might be 2 cents, might be $1.50, but but we haven't really solicited anybody for donations.
You're not in the place where you're looking for grants or anything like that.
No, not really. We just want to. If somebody wants to give it some stuff or money, we'll take it and that. But that's not our thing. Our thing is, we're a craft club. We want to make crafts, and then we get a lot of pleasure out of selling them. That somebody thinks they're so great that they want them, that they want to buy them. That's part of the feeling of being in the shop is the satisfaction you get that somebody really thought your thing was great and they needed to have it.
And if I recall correctly, though, you also do crafts at your meetings, right? You want to talk about that a little bit? How does that work?
Yeah. In fact, you just reminded me. I totally forgot about this, though. It just happened. After our meetings, we usually do a little craft project. And each month, I put a flyer in the shop window of what's coming up for the next month in case people want to sign up for it. For those crafts, we usually charge, but it's really to cover the cost of the supplies. If we have supplies, say it's a project that with shells, we wouldn't charge because we have tons of shells. Right. But if it's something that we have to go out and buy supplies, then we may put it might cost you $5 to make it, $10 to make it, depending on what it is. But what we just did, we got an outside company to come in and we did our first nighttime craft project.
Huh. What was that?
It was in the community center. It was 6 to 8 at night. We got this company. They're actually on the other side of the Chesapeake. And we did sea glass projects. You could do a sea glass tree, a wreath, sea glass wreath, a succulent, or wind chime project. And the company told us that they couldn't handle more than 50. We were more than pleased. We had 51 people who signed up for the project. And a lot of them were people from outside the area. So we really drew in a lot of people. We didn't really make any money on that. The company that came in made the money. But we wanted to try it to see if we could get members and if there was interest. We never did it before, so we didn't know if there would be interest. Now, because of the turnout, we will plan for another project, and maybe one where the club can actually make some money. So we're just starting to look into something like that. But it was very successful. In fact, I opened the shop that night. I was there working on a project, and I mentioned about the shop, and I asked any of the people that were there if they wanted to come over to the shop to see it and to see the train because it's in the shop. And some people did, and I questioned them, like, where were they from? And these two women, there was more than two women that came over, but these two women were from Salisbury. And I said, oh, how did you like the nighttime and that? And they said they both work. And so it was good for them because they're not home during the day and couldn't take advantage of anything during the day. So that's something for us to think about.
If you're taking suggestions, you may want to do a seashell themed.
Yeah, maybe.
Two birds, one stone. It sounds to me.
Right.
But that would be really interesting. So if you had like maybe once a quarter or something, a night event to raise money and to get to, because I mean, I know that I'm like that. There's lots of stuff that I don't go to because it's at 10 o'clock in the morning, and 10 o'clock in the morning is not always convenient for me. Speaking of which, when are your meetings in case people want to go, and they can get your Facebook as well, right?
Right. Our meeting's on the third Thursday of the month at 10 a.m. That we have refreshments so they can come in and have a cup of coffee and a refreshment before we start the meeting.
You don't have to sign up to come, but when you come, then you can sign up to be a member, or you can just do the craft, right?
Right.
Those are all the questions I have for you. Do you have anything for me? Is there something I should have asked and didn't, or something you thought you'd get the chance to say but didn't?
Well, I thank you for reminding me about the nighttime craft fair. That's a biggie, and so it kind of just slipped my mind. No, that's kind of about it as far as the craft club goes. I mean, we're always looking for new suggestions, and that's why we like getting new members, because it's always like a fresh, somebody fresh that comes up with something that we might have not thought of. So. We always enjoy that. Right now, for our next meeting, we're going to be actually working on ornaments for our tree. Ocean Pines does a Christmas tree section where all different clubs get a tree and decorate it. So this next meeting, we're working on ornaments for that tree. And our theme this year is Paint the Town Red. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Because we started some ornaments already, but we're working on others.
And that is for the July meeting, right?
Yeah, that's the July meeting.
And that's 1, 2, 3. That was yesterday as this is coming out. That's on the 16th, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
That's all right. And the one after that is on August 20th. So I would tell everyone to plan to be at the craft fair on Saturday, August 1st, and then to go to the August 20th event.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing the ornaments again. We're going to be doing in August.
Oh, good.
So you can use some of that, because I think that's what's on the schedule for August. But I'm not 100% sure, but I think
that's all right. Well, I can put a link to your Facebook page in the show notes. Is there anything else you need to have linked to?
I want to put my other hat on.
Sure.
If I could. I am vice president at the Friends of the Library, the Ocean Pines Library. And I would just like to mention that our annual book sale is coming up the end of July. You get great prices on great books. If you haven't been, you should really come and take a look, because some of the books, it looks like they're brand new. And they're all donations from people in the area. A lot of people buy a book, read it, and then donate it to the library. So, it's coming up. Friday night is a members only night, but if you're not a member of the Friends, you can sign up to be a member that night, so you can get in and you get first pick of all the books. And then the book sale is actually on Saturday, the 25th.
So both of those things are next weekend as this comes out. So there's still plenty of time to prepare to go to those. Yeah,
and on Monday, whatever's left is half price.
Oh, so the sale continues through into Monday.
Monday, yeah. It's a half price sale on Monday, and it's popular all 3 days, so I'd like to just give them a little plug.
Yes, no, absolutely. And, we should also have the Friends of the Library on at some point. We could come and talk about that. So keep that in mind maybe for the fall.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
As we mentioned in the show, if you want to check out the show notes, we've got a photo of that train up there for you to take a look at. If you want to go by and see it in real life, you can do that as well. Before the credits instead of after this time, I do want to let you know that we are always open to sponsorships. It is summertime now, and there are so many people here, and our listenership just skyrockets in the summertime. So if you are interested in reaching some of the people who are down at Ocean Pines in the summertime, you can reach out to Sarah Ash, our producer, at info@oceanpines.org. The Pines Cast has been an Ocean Pines Association production. It was written and edited by me, but it was produced by Sarah Ash. Please make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening now. It's a great way to make sure you get the shows as they come out. And if you have any suggestions for future shows, please reach out to me. You can do that by emailing me by tonyrusso@gmail.com. That is BYTONYRUSSO@gmail.com. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this week, and we will check in with you next time.